60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, I'm John.
I'm Nancy.
And we are
J&N
Travels. Well, thank you for joining us on, I guess we have to almost call it a pop-up. We just got through this together yesterday. We figured before our memory gets too far off, we forget stuff, maybe we should have a live for anyone that's interested in going on the MSC Meraviglia in the next year or two. If you're here because you're hoping to hear a negative review on the MSC, you're at the wrong place. I can only think of one thing that jumps out at me, which I'll mention later on, that was negative. Everything else we loved about the cruise.
We loved it, yeah.
So we'll get into that. If you're interested in seeing a day-by-day review, we have videos over on our YouTube channel of each day of the cruise. Take a peek over there at that. This is just going to be a verbal overview of what happened from our perspective. There's a lot of other things that happened on the ship that we won't cover because they didn't involve us.
Right. First of all, I want to say the ship was beautiful. Everybody did say the Meraviglia ship is absolutely gorgeous, and it really was. So it was a very, very beautiful ship.
So a couple things with housekeeping first. I see Maxwell Smart has popped in.
Hi,
hello,
Maxwell.
And Travels with Cheryl and Ed. How you guys doing?
Travels with Cheryl and Ed. How you guys doing?
So basically for housekeeping, we only had one live left for this year, which is a week from Sunday. That's the one we do the game live with Tanisha, Tanisha time. So join us for that on 11/17, November 17th, Sunday at 3 p.m. And that's our last live for the year.
Yep.
This is a pop-up live just because we want to get the information out there on the Meraviglia.
We want to tell you all about our travels on the Meraviglia.
And if you're if you're here, I guess, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Check out our J&N Facebook page, Travels Facebook page, and our TikTok videos.
Yes,
right?
We do have that.
Okay, so Nancy, I guess we'll get right into this review of the Meraviglia. I told you not going to do everything. This is just going to be an overlook. We have an agenda here, and we're just going to go through that. So let's start with the drive down. We're in New Hampshire. We're driving down to technically New Jersey. The ship left from New York, but this is New Jersey.
Yeah, he got me up at 5:30. Oh, but we left here at 7:30, right?
We have gone, we've probably done this package deal 4 or 5 times now, and every time I get lost, we seem to go earlier and earlier every year.
He's like, we're leaving at 7:30 a.m. Okay, I'm not a morning person, but hey, it means going on a cruise ship. Yes. Yeah,
and so we left it, like you said, we got up at 5:30. It was still dark. And we drove down, and we got there about 12:30, right?
Yeah,
right after
12:30. It was, the weather was great. We had beautiful weather, so we lucked out driving down. It was nice.
Now the hotel is called the Embassy Suites. It's in New Jersey, right near the airport.
Yep, right near the airport.
We finally drove by that mall that we've heard so much about, the giant New Jersey mall.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And we got there, and check-in wasn't until 3. But this woman at the desk there had bags and bags of people. They allow you to leave your baggage, and she felt a little bad for us, so she gave us a room.
She looked at all our luggage and said, "Go ahead, you can go upstairs."
Right. So
you can go to your room.
So she gave us a room.
I guess it pays to have a lot of luggage because she looked and she opened the door. There was so much luggage in that room. She just said, just go upstairs.
Now we sailed with the same couple we had last October
Yeah.
when we did the Venezia.
Yeah.
And that was Phil and Sue.
Yeah.
They get down there at 2 p.m.
They
So we
got down
met
there
with
later.
them.
They were coming from Cape Cod. Yeah.
Right. And we hung around with them, just kind of in the lobby, talked, caught up.
Mm.
And then there was a welcome party that the hotel itself threw at 5:30. So then we met back down there. So that was the actual drive down.
Yeah.
Really nothing out of the ordinary. Just a nice day to drive.
Just a nice day to drive. Yeah.
So then we get into the hotel package. This is a deal I highly recommend. If you look at the ports in New York, they're close to $50 a day, which for a 2-week cruise would be a lot of money, like $700, right?
Right.
We paid the package deal would have cost us $600, but Phil did some research and actually saved us a bunch of money because the $600 package includes your shuttle round trip, your hotel for one night, a hot buffet breakfast, and parking, right? That's the only thing. And parking.
A welcome party, if you want to add that.
Well, no, that's a hotel thing, though. I'm saying
Oh,
the package.
okay,
These
the
packages did all the hotels.
Oh, right, yeah.
So the fact that we even $600 would have been cheaper than just parking at the port.
That's
but what he did is he said, what about the packages allowed you to have 4 people in the shuttle?
Yeah.
So he said, what if we just got the cheaper package, got the $600 package and got the $200 package, which did not include the shuttle, and then put the other 2 names under the $600 package.
That was a smart move.
Said Phil, no, it's not going to happen. It happened.
It did.
So instead of 600, it's 600 plus 200. Right, $800. So it cost us $400 each.
That was perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Hey Keith, how you doing?
Hi,
Nice
Keith.
to see you. Okay, now the hotel itself. This is Embassy Suites. This is probably the 4th, 5th, 6th hotel that we've done the package deal. We've never repeated the package deal.
No, we haven't.
We just look online at the deals offered and take really the most inexpensive one that we can get. In this grouping of hotels, which is right near the airport, there must have been, would you say, half a dozen hotels?
Oh, yeah, I would say at least. Yeah.
And this one was right near, if you got there a couple of days early and you wanted something to do, you could walk over to a mall that was close by, or you go into New York or anything like that.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
But this one probably, would you say it was the nicest room of all the ones?
I think it was the nicest room. I would have to say yes.
It was a huge suite.
Huge.
So you walked in and you had your micro fridge. You had a separate bedroom with a big, I think it was a king size bed.
It was, yes.
Bathroom had a huge, one of those like rainforest showers.
Yeah, it was a good sized bathroom, big bathroom.
And the living room had a big TV and a couch and beautiful view out the window of the airport.
Yeah.
So that was very
I'm
nice.
laughing because at the view, well, you could see mostly parking lots, but you could see a little bit.
Well, the airport was out the window. Yeah, I mean, it's not beautiful scenery or anything, but it's a good view to see the airport and watch the planes a little bit.
Yeah.
The hotel itself, this particular one. Now, last year when we went, they gave you a welcome drink and had a pile of green apples. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. You walked in and they gave you a welcome drink. It was just a can of alcohol, right? And and they had a pile of green apples, right?
This year we went in and they took it a step further.
Yeah.
At 5:30 they had what they call the welcome party. Basically, you could have any drink at the bar.
Yeah.
Not any drink. I guess it was limited on you couldn't get a high-end drink.
No, but you had one complimentary drink.
One complimentary drink. And then they had a nice setup of snacks.
Oh, they had
some
a lot
delicious
of snacks.
some goldfish and popcorn and with those funnel cakes.
Yeah, funnel cake sticks.
Sticks I've never heard of before.
No, I hadn't either.
Delicious.
They were very good.
Coffee, tea, and there's more snacks there, but I forget some of them right now.
Yeah, they were good.
The pretzels. Yeah, so that was a very nice get together because it was a great place for us instead of cramming in one of our rooms.
Yeah,
we get to sit there and for a couple hours with Phil and Sue and caught up. And
they had a coffee bar there too. Did you mention that? You can get
coffee and tea. Yeah.
Oh, you did mention it.
So that was on the night before. So we arrived on Saturday for our Sunday cruise. Now the hotel also had a very good size hot breakfast.
Yeah.
It even had a bar set up to serve omelets to order.
That was pretty nice. Usually hotels don't give good breakfasts like that anymore, and this one did.
Yeah.
Because the previous one that we went last year, I don't think that was a very good breakfast.
The last few years, though, they
They
were
were
still
just very-
recovering from
Yeah,
COVID,
oh, well, that's
remember?
true,
And
that's
they were
true.
doing the stupid
Yeah.
little bag things.
Yeah,
and-
that's true.
but now they've gone back to the regular
And this
hot breakfast.
Yeah, and this hotel had a nice pool, although we didn't swim. We thought we were going to swim, but we got too tired. But it had a nice pool.
Okay, yeah, and I didn't mention the facility. So it had your typical gym.
Gym,
It had
yeah,
a pool, small hot tub.
Yeah,
Like I said, we planned to get down there early and maybe just take a dip. There's no
Yeah.
one in the pool.
no,
but
there was nobody in there.
side against it. You know,
Yeah.
the thought when we were down there to get a wet bathing suit on
Yeah,
and all that was
yeah,
nothing that we wanted to do.
right.
So was there anything else at the hotel? That was about it. There was a secure parking lot with a gate that we
Yeah.
left our car for the 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And that was probably it for the hotel. So now we're going to the shuttle. So we've covered the hot breakfast the hotel gave,
hmm
the room for the night. We talked about the room, the parking. We talked about the 2 weeks of parking. The last thing was a shuttle that was included in this package.
hmm
We happen to get a very good driver. This guy lives locally.
yeah, he does.
He knew the back roads, even though we had requested a 10:30 pickup the next day. He was calling us at 9 o'clock in the morning. He was there. And he also picked us up early when we returned from the ship.
Yeah, he did
And his whole premise is there, he knows from 10 o'clock on
Sundays.
Sundays that it's
Mobbed, yeah.
And so he took us all the back roads
Yeah.
and got us there, plenty of time. Next time we'll just plan
Book
it
it.
earlier.
Yeah.
And get up earlier.
Yeah,
So he was wonderful. We had the same driver going back and forth.
yeah, he's very good. Yeah,
Big, beautiful van,
Oh, yeah.
truck he had.
beautiful vehicle. Yeah, very nice vehicle with really comfy seats. And like I said, he lived locally, so he knew all the back roads.
Right.
So he got us there in plenty of time.
Okay, so now we booked our cruise. This cruise is very reasonable, probably one of the cheap
Yeah,
cruises out
that
there.
was
We
a
had never
reasonable
tried
cruise.
MSC, and the third thing that kind of hooked us in is they were giving a deal for $300. You could get the drink package
Yeah.
and the internet package.
Yeah, that was a good deal.
The drink package averaged about 20. If you don't count the internet, it averaged about, I think it was 22 to 28 a day or something like that.
Mhm.
The average mixed drink on the ship is $10.
Yeah.
So basically, you need 3 drinks and you're broke even. We found that we were spending a lot of time, like every meal, getting a can of soda.
Yeah, you could, that soda was
So that was
included.
saving money.
Nice.
Those were like $2.50 a can.
Yeah,
We also get into the habit of getting a latte
Oh,
every
those
day.
are
Remember
so
those
good.
caramel lattes?
yeah, that was really good because that was included, and the drinks that were included were $10 and under.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the package
Yeah.
did. Keith likes frog. I'm glad to hear that.
Isn't
Keith.
he cute? Rabbit.
So where was I here? Yeah, so the drink package turned out to be wonderful. I don't think we would drink enough to do any other drink
No.
package
No.
because that's all we had. We had usually a soda a day, a latte, and then a couple mixed drinks,
Yeah.
right? Type of thing. We tried many different drinks.
We did.
We did try a few shots at
Yeah.
different occasions.
Yeah.
And the fun thing with the drink package is we usually go into a bar and we sit there or we bring our own drink in.
Yeah.
You could go into any bar and just sit and order
was
drinks.
nice.
Yeah. So it was a fun, it's like we consider an excursion,
It was.
a separate
It was
excursion,
fun. It
right?
was like, okay, at dinner time we get to order drinks. Okay, that's fun. Nice wine with your meal. Or I'm particularly fond of Bloody Marys. So breakfast time, I always like to have my Bloody Mary. They had a Bloody Mary station set up at breakfast. So that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you love that.
Yeah, so that's my favorite drink. At the Brass and Anchor Bar, I tried.
Well, you liked it at the buffet in the morning.
Yeah, I did. But at the Brass and Anchor Bar, I like the shot of Fireball whiskey.
Right.
Fireballs are my favorite candy,
It-
and I love that Fireball whiskey.
And since it was part of the package, I always had them toss either Kahlua or Bailey's in my latte.
Yeah,
Too.
that was nice too.
Cheryl Ned said, wondering if you would go with us out of Philly on NCL Jewel. It's funny you said that because
Yeah.
last night at work I was checking cruises because we're going to go in January and now that got vetoed, so we're probably falling back to like October or something again
Yeah.
for a cruise.
Yeah,
And I had heard there was a new port in Philadelphia, which
Mm.
we want to do a port we can drive to. And I think Philadelphia, I don't know if it's that much further than New York, right? But I couldn't find it on the on the schedule. I have to look at that. If you can email me, Cheryl or Ed, the details on that, I certainly will look into that.
Yeah.
All the details.
Yeah. It would be fun to cruise with you.
He's talking 2026.
Okay. It would be fun to cruise with you guys again.
Yeah, it would be. In fact, we're hoping to see them down in Florida.
Yeah, we hope. Oh, yeah. I hope so.
He's going to send me the details on
good
everything, like when they're going to, we don't know where they're staying or what
that's
days.
right. That's good.
Okay. So getting back to the embarkation, we're now at the ship.
Yeah.
Dropped us right off in front of the ship. We get off, cross the street.
Yeah.
It's not like in New York where we had to go up back roads and cross main roads. Got right on the ship, or I should say we got right into the terminal.
Right.
Okay. Line was huge.
Mm.
Got a little discouraged. It didn't matter. The line moved quickly.
It was the fastest embarkation that I've ever.
But it's probably right up there anyways.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how fast it was.
So we went through the line.
Yeah,
to
it looked
check
intimidating going, okay, we're going to wait. But boom, they buzzed us right through.
Then we moved to a secondary room, and that's where they gave you a number, and they call the number, and that's when you actually get on the ship.
Yeah.
We were on the ship by 11:30 a.m., so that was incredible. And I can't remember, I think our stamp, how they give you the time in advance was 11 o'clock to arrive. But just you can get there anytime. They did not hold people out of the terminal. You wouldn't get on the ship. It was a little deceiving. People were saying, oh, you get on the ship if you got there real early and you'd say at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get on the ship. They're still going to call the numbers, but you would get all the way through to the point.
Yeah, it was pretty speedy. I was really happily surprised.
Huh. Cheryl said to try Fireball and eggnog. I never thought of that.
Oh, Cheryl, I'm going to try that. Thank you for that suggestion.
Blaine, how you doing?
I never would have thought of that. Yes.
How the heck can you have Fireball, eggnog, non-alcoholic?
I really love that Fireball whiskey.
Blaine, nice to see you, though. Okay, so we're now on the ship. 11:30. You walk in. First thing you hit is that not the promenade. You hit the atrium.
Yeah.
Gorgeous atrium. They have 4 staircases in there, and you'll see it on a lot of our videos too, because we couldn't believe them. They're made of crystal.
I know.
Each step is $3,200.
I know.
Each stair, I can't forget what it was, $32,000 or $30,000 for one staircase, and they had 4 of them. Beautiful. I don't know if all the MSC ships have it.
I don't know. They probably do. But that could be their trademark, their.
Right. The other thing that we were very impressed with is when you walk in the main promenade, it's it's like a mall. It feels like a mall, but the ceiling is a dome. Yeah,
that was really pretty.
And they're constantly showing some kind of either just patterns or some kind of short animation up there. It was beautiful.
The ones that I liked was the dinosaur. They did like a little Jurassic Park scene.
Yeah.
I liked that. That was pretty cool.
Well, the whole center of the ship is the promenade. It's 2 levels. Okay. So you go through, one end of it is your atrium, and the restaurants are all down that end. The other end is the theater. Yeah. Beautiful, big theater. Very nice. Very nice. We never had problems getting a seat, even when we get in there right about before the show.
Theater is like they didn't have any columns that, could, obstruct your view. Like Canaveral had those columns that obstructed your view. So you had to. But this whole theater didn't have that anyway.
No, it didn't have the double balconies. You're right about that. I never thought about that. But there were every seat was you could see. It was a good sight.
It was good. The way it was laid out was really nice.
Unless you had someone in front of you with a big head or the very tall, then you ran into problems.
Yeah, someone in front of you with a frog head.
That would be that'd be pretty funny sitting there with that. Huh? So the way it was set up in the promenade is, like I said, picture a mall in the middle of a ship. A lot of the bigger ships have something like this, but I've never quite seen it like that with the dome. The first level you walk down had all sorts of stores. Had a candy store. That was a thing in itself. It was actually a factory / candy store. They made all the chocolate there. You could watch them make it. Yeah. We went to a demo one day, and which was very interesting. At the end, they actually gave out samples.
Yeah, that was really good.
I think we ate a whole chocolate chip between the 2 of us of samples, right?
The samples were good. Very good.
They had several lounges, a couple lounges down on the first level. Those were our favorite. Our favorite lounges were basically, I'll go into that when we get to the lounges. And they had high-end stores, of course, many high-end stores, a gift store, a liquor store. Nancy had a a goal of getting the gelato. The gelato and the crepes were extra,
they look
and
good.
every time we went by, she was already full.
I was
eating
just
the food.
too full, and it wasn't a bad price. It was only $5 for a gelato.
Right.
That wasn't bad at all. And I wanted, I was thinking of trying the mango gelato, but I was always too full.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even do the samples. We just didn't feel like eating anything.
No,
So the bottom floor had stores. I think it might have had 1 or 2 restaurants, especially restaurants there. And that was in the middle. It also had the excursion desk there, if I'm not mistaken. Second level had an English pub, which we liked a lot. I'll tell you the negative part of that when we get further down, but it was a nice little pub to go and get a beer. We would only go in there after the first couple of days. We only went in there during the day because at night it was a little challenging. It had a couple of especially restaurants there, steakhouse and the Asian place and the sushi place, right? And then there was a place on the end just before you came to the theater that was called the TV Studio. This is where they held their trivia. All the trivia, they had karaoke there.
Yeah.
It's a great big spot, and there's a bar set up. Every function area had a bar, of course. Now, when you're on the drink package, it's great.
It's fun. You hit every bar.
Because we've gone on some cruises where you have to get a beer or a drink and bring it with you. And this one, there was.
And you got to hit every bar because different bartenders know how to make different drinks better than others. Didn't you find that?
We had run into where they actually told us they got a whole new crew on.
Oh,
like
that's
half
true.
the crew was new
That's
and half the
right.
bartenders were new, supposedly. So it was sometimes a hit or miss if you got something new. There was a drink, what was it, toasted almond?
Yeah, they didn't know how to make.
Half of them didn't know how to make it, and others kind of laughed and knew how to make it.
It was really good. You had one bartender that made it so good.
Right. So that's a promenade, like we said. Then you move on, let's say, call this the facilities. So they had a sports court. Unlike a lot of these cruises that have an outdoor court with a net over it, this was indoors. Typical sports court. It had pickleball. It had basketball. It had goalie nets, so you probably play soccer, stuff like that. It had all sorts of stuff that you get equipment to take out and use. And then there were certain times of day. Now, we really like pickleball. But we stayed up later and we could not get up. It was 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's early.
Phil and Susan did get up.
They did, yeah. A couple we went did play several times. God bless you.
So the last cruise on, was it on the Venezia, we played pickleball, but this one we didn't.
Yeah.
But it was a nice little court.
Yeah.
They also had the facilities of pools. There was 3 pools.
Yeah, they were nice.
We never felt crowded in the pools.
No,
there was
they were nice.
Back of the cruise was adults only.
Yeah.
Very unusual design. If you see in the videos, it's like a stadium sitting in a pool, and the bar's up the top, which I can't imagine people getting drunk trying to come down to the front of the thing. The middle was the main pool, which is a pretty good sized pool, and then there was a kids area with all this stuff. And then there was the indoor pool, which saved us a few times because we hit Hurricane Milton going down, and it was very interesting some of the days there.
Yeah.
In fact, it got so rough on some of the days that they actually closed the pools not because the waves in the pool. It was great because we were in it at the time.
Yeah, it felt nice. It felt like it was a wave pool.
Right.
Yeah, it was nice.
They kicked everyone else because I guess they're afraid people are going to go smashing against the side.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of ruined the fun, right?
Yeah.
Slides. There are 3 slides there. There are 2 that you can sit on the raft, either solo or double, which we did together. Then there was one that looks like a toilet bowl. You guys probably all seen that one. That you go down the slide and it spins around the bowl. That's probably the weakest of them all. I thought that was going to be the best, but
and it turned out to be weaker.
It was designed like the ones where you have the seam, right? And so you catch the seam on your back and it just kills you.
Yeah,
so
not fun.
No, so that was.
They got to design that better. That's too bad.
They do. Hot tubs were all over the ship.
Oh yeah, they're huge too.
Well, not really, but there were several all over the ship. Rope course, which I did. I always enjoy the rope course on the ship. We did that. The gym. which we should have enjoyed that more, but we didn't go in there.
Nope.
The track, we walked around a couple times.
Yeah, a
It's an interesting track. It was kind of cute the way it went uphill and had a little bit of height to it in some spots. The arcade, which we didn't use, I think Nancy might have played a game in there, but there was lots of games. This is also the area that contained 2 regulation size bowling alleys. Remember?
Yeah, right.
And it also had a virtual reality. I think it was a racing car.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Or like you're flying a plane.
Yeah.
You know. But there were a lot of variety of games there too. You know, of course, those claws that come down to pick up a candy.
I know.
And stuff
Are they
like
ever going to get rid of those things?
Know. Well, they're a moneymaker, right?
Right. You always see someone using them.
Right. And like I mentioned, the kids' water area, lots of little props and statues and stuff for the kids to do. The buckets of water that pour all over you, and the guns that squirt water.
Yeah, those are always fun.
All the fun things. Then we move on, Nancy, to the activities. Okay. Trivia, we went in a couple times. That was like in that place we told you about, the TV studio. Karaoke, we caught a couple times.
I caught that a couple of times.
Maybe if we did this again, we would spend more time in this place.
Yeah, I would have liked to spend more time with trivia. I mean,
the demos were a lot of fun, and this is something we never do. Caught us by surprise. One was where it was a bartenders. They were trying to do, what's that movie? Cocktail.
Yeah.
You know, so these 2 bartenders must be practicing, and they put on a demo of flipping the bottles and making drinks.
They were entertaining. Yeah.
Another demo that we had mentioned earlier was the candy factory store there. You go in, they showed you how they make mold candies. They had some that were shaped like high heels and like the ship itself that made of chocolate.
Yeah. And the Statue of Liberty, I think, was one of them.
Statue of Liberty, all sorts of big displays of chocolate things on the ship there too, in that candy store. And at the end, they had these chocolate ships. The ship itself was like $26. They cut them out to give you samples. I think between the 2 of us, we may have eaten the whole ship by the time we were done.
Yeah, they were great.
But those are delicious.
They were.
Were there any other demos we saw? I know there was a napkin folding one. There was one that showed you how to do towel animals. We didn't go to either one of those.
No.
Can you think of any others that we might have seen?
No, I don't recall.
Then,
well, just the Guinnessboro, correct?
Well, that's what I'm getting on now.
Oh, you're doing that.
Okay, so then this was a total surprise for us. I just happened to be going through the promenade, and they had 4 areas set up. And what they were doing is there was a representative from Guinness Book of World Records on the ship. They did this 2 different days, I think, and they would run contests or run skill things where people were trying to break the records.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, I'll give you the example of the 4 that we saw. One is there's a rope, just a rope on a big spool, long rope.
Yeah, very long.
And what they had to do was hand over hand pull the rope off the what would you call it? The spindle, the spool.
Yeah.
That was one of them. The other one was they had these oversized, I'll call them Lego blocks.
Yeah, they were Lego.
They were all over the ground, and they timed how long it took you to stack all those Lego blocks on top of each other.
Yeah.
Another one was you'd get a partner, you'd throw a beach ball back and forth, and a certain amount of time they would time how many times you threw the ball back without dropping it, of course,
without dropping it,
in that period of time. And why can't I remember the 4th one? Do you remember the 4th one?
No, I don't.
I can't remember it. If it pops into me, I'll say it later. But there was also a 4th one in there.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Another thing they did that we watched, but we didn't partake in every day down on the promenade, they had dance lessons. A different type of dance every day. Looked like fun.
Yeah, it did.
Again, something I would try if we did this ship again. Nightly parties. All right, every cruise ship you've been on is nightly parties, right? You know, they had the white party, they had the glow party, they had the 70s party. There was a party every night.
Yeah.
They usually had them on the top deck if the weather was good. If they didn't, they did them in the promenade. This promenade was so multifaceted.
I know.
I actually liked in the promenade better because you could watch from above. And
I liked it.
And you always get the dome that would cooperate with the, changing colors and all that. So the parties, your typical parties, there were bands everywhere around the ship.
Oh yeah, there were bands.
Well, they weren't full bands. They had a guitarist in one spot. They had the steel drum in another one.
They had a beetle. a band that played
Yeah,
Beatle
tribute
music.
Beatles. Actually, that band was playing tribute to different type of artists.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then they
one
had
night it was Beatles, right?
Saxophonist and
Right, and the singer.
yeah, pianist and a singer.
So it's just entertainment all around the ship, and that's always fun walking around and you hear something and you just go in and listen to it for a little while. Okay, that is the, let's see, the nightly parties, a pickleball, organized pickleball. They also had in the indoor pool area foosball set up that we played several times.
Yeah, that was fun.
And ping pong tables
Yeah.
set up. We played a lot of cards.
Yeah, we did.
Phil and Sue taught us some games of cards, and they brought those rummy tiles that everyone seems to have.
Rummy tiles, or rummy cube.
Right. So those are
fun.
Those are two things we played a lot.
Yeah, I never played that before. It was fun.
Well, the big thing is with the drink package, you just go into a bar and we'd sit there and just drink and play the game.
Have a drink and play cards or rummy cube. It was fun. Very relaxing.
They had the big screen, like a lot of ships now, which they would play movies on at night.
Yeah.
And they had, now this is where we come to my one huge negative, okay?
I know what it is.
Yeah. It's the only negative I could find on the ship is I'm in the sports, and one of the things I enjoy on a cruise ship is watching part of the football games or part of the hockey games. You're not going to sit there for 3 hours on a cruise, but the perfect spot to see it was in the Brass Anchor pub, which is that English pub. The design was incredibly ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know who thought of that design.
If you're sitting right at the bar, you can barely see the TV underneath. Anywhere else in the bar, you can't see the TVs. And when you try and stand when it gets crowded to watch, you have people at the tables because the tables are all lower than the bar, telling you to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So that's why we did that only in the afternoon.
Yeah.
They also had that big screen TV that I told you about that they did the movies. Every cruise line I know that has the ability to do that, and MSC has a contract to 2 ESPN stations.
Why
shows a football game on the big screen.
I don't know why.
The Monday night game, the Thursday night game.
Why they wouldn't do that?
No, they didn't do it, and they barely showed. We saw games here and there in the room. They
Right.
barely showed that.
Yeah.
So that if you're in the sports, that's a one
Negative.
huge negative. It's terrible. They had the perfect spot too. If maybe they got to hire someone that knows how to plug in a TV cable, because the TV studio had probably 30 TVs around the whole place.
Yeah.
When they did the karaoke and the trivia.
Yeah, right.
They had a full bar in there.
Yeah.
It's a perfect spot to have people come in and watch a ball game.
There's no excuse for
Right.
that.
And it was empty during some of the games, so it's not like it was being used. So that's my number one negative on the ship, really. That's all I could find, guys.
That's not a bad negative. I mean, if that's the only negative,
All right, so let's go to the lounges, the overall lounges. Our favorite, wouldn't you say, was probably the Overlook Lounge?
Yeah.
I know Phil's was the Edge, and that was probably our second favorite.
Yeah, that was our second favorite.
The Overlook is a lounge, and a lot of people don't find it till halfway through the cruise.
Right.
It's up high. It overlooks the pool.
Yeah.
The whole pool,
Yeah,
main
I like
pool area.
that one.
Beautiful lounge. You
It
sit
is.
in there, and it's a great place to see the ocean, to see the
Yeah.
pool area. The other thing which we found out halfway through the cruise is they had a little stage and they had some good entertainment there.
Yeah.
There was a female singer, a guy on the guitar, was it? And a piano player?
Yeah.
And then they rotated with this guy who did the sax.
Yeah,
He
right.
played the sax.
I think that was called the Sky Lounge.
Sky Lounge? Okay.
I believe so.
Okay, I'll go with that. And the Edge, the one that was Phil's favorite, was the bar right outside where all the restaurants are.
Mhm.
So we would stop there to get
a drink.
to get basically the latte. Remember, you get your latte there and bring it into the meal with us, and then we'd still order the Coke and the mixed drink or whatever we're getting out of the drink. So, but that was a nice place because that we sat a couple times to play cards. You could have a nice view of the ocean there.
Yeah.
It was right off the main atrium.
Right.
So you could people watch too.
They even have a champagne lounge that you found and got yourself some champagne.
Yeah, didn't like that lounge. That was pretty boring.
But I think it was called the Skylab Lounge, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar to you?
No, but that's okay. I'll go with that. And our third one was the Brass Anchor, even though that's the English pub.
Yeah,
even though it was terrible for watching the ball game, it was very quaint.
Yeah, very cute.
In the corner they had, it reminds me of the old pubs we'd go to sometimes when we were growing up, where they have a guitarist or two people, a duo playing some music at night.
Yeah.
so that was nice. And we went in there a couple times for a beer.
And my Fireball whiskey.
Did you get that in there? Okay.
I did.
I believe
did.
you. And some of the other pubs, like in the Promenade, they had, it's kind of like a disco setup. They did a lot of fast-paced disco kind of music. They had the atrium, which had entertainment if you just want to sit around. The steel drummer.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm trying to think what other pubs and stuff we went into. The other thing was, you could go in and get a drink from a lot of places. Like even if you weren't getting a specialty restaurant in the Mexican restaurant there, if you weren't going to buy the specialty meal, you could go in and just get yourself a drink.
Yeah, I was almost tempted to get sake at the Asian restaurant because I do like sake, but I never end up doing that.
Right. Okay, so those, that's kind of a quick overlook of the bars we went to. Well, I guess forgetting the bamboo, inside the bamboo pool, the indoor pool, we were in there a lot.
Yeah, that was nice, yeah.
And right outside was a bar where the only bartender knew certain drinks I wanted, but it was right near the smoking area, so we didn't spend a lot of time out
in the
there.
Bamboo pool. It's nice and warm in there because the other pool outside was a little cool sometimes. It was because it was enclosed.
I should say that had a retractable roof.
That had a retractable
that was open when we first got on the ship, but we had a lot of rough weather.
Yeah, we did.
Between the rain and the Hurricane Milton and different things like that. The roof was closed a lot. Sometimes it was cooler outside, so that bamboo area, like Nancy said, probably the warmest place on the ship. And it's big. It had 2 floors.
Yeah, it was nice.
So if you didn't want to be with the more crowded area downstairs, you go up to the top stairs and you could sit and quietly play games or just talk or something like that.
Yeah, I must say I really like the layout of the MSC.
The ship, if we hadn't mentioned before, is good.
It's gorgeous.
Everything about it, most of the stuff was laid out very well, I think.
Yeah.
There's an area on the atrium. I think the bottom floor of the atrium had your customer service and your a desk. I forget whether it was to help you out if another excursion desk or not. You go up a floor and they had the IT area and this.
Don't forget my jewelry store on the bottom where I get a charm every day.
That was one of Nancy's goals. They give out a charm every day, different charm at the stores, which is neat. If you're in the charm bracelets,
nice.
She found this years ago. You can go to any
DI
store when you at the ports,
Diamond International,
and probably some other places on shore. But also the ships a lot of times will give you the bracelet and or a charm for each day.
One of my favorite charms was when we went on a cruise several years ago, and we went to the Mayan ruin, and I got a Mayan ruin charm. So I thought that was really cool. I got the temple,
right,
and my second favorite, it was a frog, of course. I don't know what island I got the frog on, but I got a frog.
That was cute.
So that was cute. But I liked the Mayan temple. That was really pretty.
Welcome in, Paul Meets World. Thanks for coming in. I don't think it's National Frog Day, but this is this actually was my daughter wore it as a Halloween costume and donated it to the Smiley the Frog, right? Yeah. So that was the lounges. And then if we move on, this is the part that I have heard real good reviews, medium reviews, lousy reviews.
Oh,
is the food.
Yes.
This is only our opinion.
Yeah.
I love the food.
I liked it.
The sit-down restaurants we all agree on.
Yeah,
they were fantastic.
They were.
Meals are good.
Yeah.
I didn't think the portions were as small as people had made. Some people had made out to be.
Yeah, I thought they were fine.
They had the lobster tail one night. Now we were in the back-to-back, so it's the same meals the second week is the first week, which I prefer because if it's something a kid like.
Yeah.
So we got lobster tail twice. We got prime rib twice.
Oh, it was really
steak
good.
Diane twice. Ribs. The only thing they didn't have that you were hoping they had is beef Wellington.
I like beef Wellington, yeah.
And that was it. Shrimp.
I got a lot of shrimp. They had this shrimp dish with mango sauce that I really liked.
That was the appetizer.
Yeah, that was
unbelievable.
That was really good. Yeah.
The other thing is that they make their own mozzarella cheese on the ship. They make really their own pasta on the ship.
The sauce and pasta were delicious.
And we absolutely loved the pasta, right?
And we did, yeah.
We thought that was wonderful. The sauce was very good too, like you said.
Really good. Yeah.
Cheese was good. So the stuff they made on there, the stuff you heard about coffee, pasta, the beef, the cheese, that people did say was good. The pizza.
The pizza
we
was really
agreed.
good.
They were all good.
The pizza was really good.
I thought, because a lot of people always ask about and talk about the buffet. I like the buffet a lot. Nancy probably thought it was a notch below what I did.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time when I went up to the buffet, I wasn't hungry. So, because I had a big dinner. So.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know if it was turned you off because you're full and you're trying to.
But the chicken wings, they were really good. They were
awesome. About the chicken wings.
They were very good.
My favorite thing about NCL Cruises is they have the 24 hours chicken wings. This place had chicken wings twice each cruise.
Yeah.
So that would be 4 nights of chicken wings. And every night happened to be a different kind.
They were really
4
good.
Different flavors. Yeah.
And I happen to really like, I love the breads on the MSC, but I happen to like the salami. It was so, so good.
You did like the slow cut.
So I made a little sandwich with the salami and the cheese. It was really good.
You were just always so full.
I know. I was just always so full at the buffet. We both of us. But, maybe if I didn't eat dinner and I went up to the buffet and ate what was up there, I'd like it more, but, because I wouldn't be as full. So it's hard to really, comment on the buffet. But I really did like the salami a lot. I thought in the pasta, and they had nice pasta dishes up on the buffet. And I always got they had a cold pasta dish that I really liked. So the pasta was homemade. It was very good.
Yeah. The other thing that's a little deceiving, people talk about how there's very limited areas to eat, like other ones you can go to different little restaurants.
Oh yeah.
That's true to a point. The only thing I like to add to that is they have a lot of if you found a small free Asian restaurant, a small complimentary chicken one, or this and that on other ships, they have stations at MSC, so you can get that food. It's just they don't have them separate.
Right.
The separate venue, which separate venue is nice sometimes to get away from the crowds, but you weren't getting deprived of any food because of it. And that I like to point out. Cheryl and Ed's wondering if a cruise will ever be pet friendly. We see pets on it, and I know it's with the comfort animals and stuff like that. I guess you could always get your dog a vest or something, Cheryl, and maybe get them on a cruise that way. But
we were on a cruise once, and a guy had a service animal, but I think he had trouble getting off on one of the islands with the dog, even though it was a service dog.
Well, if you remember,
and one of our friends had that problem.
Cheryl and I were on that cruise.
Oh, that's right too.
And
she was on that cruise.
And she had a problem with her dog. In fact, we just talked to her last week, and she had said she's got all the right paperwork this time, so she can get off the cruise with the dog. But even if you get all the right paperwork or can get the dog on the cruise, every country's different, and you're going to make sure you get off the cruise.
And I don't know if this gentleman had the right paperwork, but it was the cutest little dog. It was a little Chihuahua named Sunshine. It was the cutest little dog.
Holmes World has been on a cruise, but hoping to do on the bucket list.
Definitely, you got to do that.
And you this cruise line we're talking about right now, MSC, is probably the best bargain you're going to get out there. So if you're trying to do it within a bargain, take a look at their rates and stuff. Your food. So I'm trying to think of any desserts were delicious.
Oh, the desserts were absolutely delicious desserts at dinner time. I didn't eat a lot of desserts up on the buffet because I was always so full from dinner. I enjoyed my desserts at dinner and didn't really get much on the buffet.
They also have a late night snack which they added, which I think is a great idea. We didn't really, there's not a great variety there, but it's just something, if you get out of a show, you want to go up and just get something to eat.
Yeah, the pizza's always good. They're there till 2 a.m. You can always get pizza till 2 a.m.
Right.
And it was nice, too, because there's not a long line like on other ships.
That's the only thing I know.
It was ridiculous because they only had that one place open to get food and everybody went there. So,
Anything else you want to add about the food?
No,
So we were very pleased with the food.
Yeah, I think it was really good.
And the ice cream was very good.
Yeah.
They stopped serving at 5 o'clock. I think it was noon to 5, but that was very good too.
We were very happy with the cheesecake dessert. We got that a lot because it was so good.
I was the only one, and it's not. I had it, and it was delicious. A cheesecake, but it was just so many different things on the menu.
I tried a few other desserts that I liked, but I always went back to the cheesecake. It was my favorite.
All right, now let's move on to the entertainment. All right, like your typical other cruise ships, what they had now, they have 4 stage shows.
Mhm.
It's more like a carnival stage show than, say, a Broadway type
Yeah.
of one.
Yeah.
We liked them a lot.
Yeah, we
Very
did.
talented singers and
I
dancers.
agree. They were.
I like that kind of a show.
Me too.
And they had 4 different themes, and they repeated, of course, the second week,
Mhm.
which I like that because we got all out of the way the first week so that we could spend the second week doing different things. So we did the 4 shows. Each week had a different comedian.
Yeah.
So we saw the comedian, the family show, and then also the adult version of the show.
Yeah, he was good.
First week, the new comedian. Second week, that was really the only live show we saw.
Yeah.
We saw him, the
Yeah.
family, and at the other. So they were good. They were
Yeah.
entertaining. I thought the first week's comedian was a little better than the second
Yeah,
week,
I agree.
but they were entertainment.
Yeah.
Several music venues, like we said, if you're not into the big stage show,
Mhm.
you don't want to get in line. There's plenty of lounges you can go that have much more subdued music
Yeah.
or a variety of music. So we enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We went around and did things like that, and that was like the main entertainment, right? And then the other stuff was activities you had to get involved in yourself or demonstrations or stuff like that. The storms, okay, we
Oh boy.
we left first week, and Milton was ahead of us, right? Yeah, we were going down.
We were going ahead of
We're
Milton.
going down the East Coast. No, Milton had hit. Milton was ahead of us. We were heading
Oh,
towards
Milton
Port
was ahead of
Canaveral,
us. Okay.
and it got so bad, Milton in Florida, that the Port Canaveral, the Florida Port Canaveral, shut down. It would not let the ship in. So
Okay.
we turned away from that. Then we were supposed to go to the Private Islands, which is the Bahamas. That was shut down. So we actually missed 2 out of the 3 ports. The only one they stopped at, right in the middle of the week on the Wednesday, they stopped at the Bahamas.
We missed their private island. That's what he's referring to. We missed we missed Port Canaveral and the Bahamas private island, but then we hit Bahama. Was that on the second week?
Well, I'll go through that
Okay.
next on that. But and then we hit going home on the second week from Bermuda to New York. We hit a little bit of rough weather
Yeah, it
and
was
stuff.
a little rough.
No big storms, but it was a little rough.
Yeah,
We
it
were
was.
fine.
We were fine. We didn't have an issue. We were fine, but other people did.
Right. I mean, I feel bad for people that
Yeah,
weren't,
there were other people that were
that
getting
weren't feeling good.
Yeah.
So those are that was a storm, and I guess a lot of other people down in the Florida area either had to stay out of port an extra
Mhm.
day
Yeah.
or came in early or stuff like that. The ports themselves, like I said, there was really only 2 ports because we had the Nassau, Bahamas, and we hadn't seen it, which was good
Yeah, it was
because it's a
nice.
whole new area that
Yeah,
they
it was
renovated.
beautiful. Yeah.
That was very nice to walk
Yeah,
around.
It was.
We did that till about 1:30, and then went back to the ship to try and take advantage of the slides and stuff with no
Yeah,
lines
that
and
was fun.
the rope course.
Yeah.
So we did that. The other one was we got to spend 4 days in Bermuda,
Yeah, that was really nice.
which was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Basically, the day we arrived, we went to Snorkel Beach,
Yeah.
which is in walking distance of the ship.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
rough. If you ever go there, wear water shoes.
Yeah, you need to bring water shoes, no question.
But we went there to snorkel.
Yeah, that was nice.
There's also a mini golf right near there and other things to do. The dockyard where the ship lands in Bermuda has a lot to do. You don't even have to leave the port
No,
if you
you
didn't
don't.
want to.
No, it's nice.
Second day, we paid $7 each way to take a shuttle bus down from right outside the ship down to Horseshoe Beach,
Right.
one of the well-known beaches in the world.
Beautiful there.
Had a lot of
Absolutely
fun there,
beautiful.
swimming
Yeah.
and walking the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Third-
water wasn't bad. The waves were big.
Mhm.
I would loved it. Yeah.
Third day, we spent the day just walking around the dockyard.
Yeah.
And we took the little free shuttle that brings you around.
Yeah. That was
And then
nice.
we get out, we walked around, there's a little mall there,
Mhm.
there's stores. They
Little
used to
pubs.
pubs, yeah. There's some well-known pub and restaurants right there.
Yeah. The
And,
Frog and Onion. We had to go there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's a fort there, which that's on our list for next time. It's basically a historic fort on
Yeah, the
Bermuda
fort
to protect the
museum.
island. And it's
Yeah,
a
we didn't go
museum.
there, but we will next time.
They also have a dolphin swimming there.
Yeah.
When we went on previous trips to Bermuda, we rented jet skis there. Another time we had an excursion on a catamaran.
Yeah.
These all left right from the dock. You just walk
Yeah.
over to them.
And one other time you rented
Oh, Whaler.
A Boston Whaler
Yeah.
boat. Yeah, that was nice.
And then Phil and Sue went on a 2-hour glass bottom boat.
Yeah, Sunset
at
Cruise.
Sunset Cruise, right?
Mhm.
That they
liked
enjoyed.
it. They liked it a
Yeah.
lot.
So there's plenty to do in Bermuda.
Yeah,
and we had good weather in Bermuda. No problems
beautiful
there.
weather.
We had a little bit of rough seas on the way back.
Yeah, a little bit, but like again, we didn't get sick, so it didn't affect us.
Right.
So.
And then the last day, like I said, on the Bahamas was the day we took advantage of got back to the ship at 1:30, 2 o'clock from
Mhm.
Bahamas, and took advantage of the rope course
Yeah, that
and
was
the
nice.
slides.
Yeah.
And that comes to the end of the trip. So now the debarkation was done a little different. Other cruises, we pulled the numbers or something. They call you with a different number. They designated when you get off the ship.
Yeah.
And everyone was off the ship by, was it 9:30, would you say?
Yeah, 9:30. It was quick.
Yeah. It was
very quick.
That was done well too.
Yeah.
That was definitely done too. So then the drive home. So we get off the ship. A guy was waiting there for the shuttle.
He was right
brought
there
us back to the hotel. Just got our car, had a cup of coffee at the hotel, getting our cars, headed home. So we're off the shuttle at 9:30, shuttle to the hotel, and we were home then by 4:45. So very successful, no bad weather driving down or back, no problems. So it would be a quick summary. Do you recommend?
Well, I loved
MSC?
it. I was just a little disappointed that we missed their private island. I didn't care too much about missing Port Canaveral because we've been there before, but we were excited to see the private island because we had the drink package, and you could use the drink package on the private island. And I was looking forward to see the light show on the
lighthouse.
Lighthouse,
right?
The lighthouse.
That was only the real bummer.
Disappointed, but I mean, that was it. I mean, it would have been fun to be able to go to the private island, but we'll have to go on another MSC cruise ship. That's all.
So that's the only bummer as far as ports.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
all
said.
the negative I have to say.
The ship itself, I said, other than the sports thing, watching the TV on the sports shows and stuff like that, I really have no complaints about the ship. Of course, you have your little complaints. You find this or that, but everything was really nice. I mean, just the ship itself, walking around, get a drink or something, just walk around.
And the staff was very good. We've enjoyed all our staff at our, the staff that we had at our dinners and our cabin guy.
Yeah, that was a good point, right?
Yeah, they were all great.
We didn't run into any bad experience with the
not at
employees.
I think the bartenders were great. I mean, they were all friendly and everything. Some of them made better drinks than others, but they were all friendly and great.
If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments. We will answer them.
Yeah.
Cheryl said, "Did we go to the Frog and Onion Pub?" We did pop in there for a
popped
drink.
In there,
and walked around. I got some video of that. Actually, I put that together.
Yeah, we didn't eat there, but we did go in.
Our friend Phil was dying to try a fish sandwich from Bermuda. I guess they're well known, but
I mean, I like everything, but I'm not really sure about that combination with raisin bread and fish. That's interesting.
Yep.
They put the fish in a raisin bread sandwich. I might like it, but that's an unusual combo.
Right. So that's our review on MSC. Have any questions, put in the comments or send us an email at j&ntravels@yahoo.com. If you want to see day by day, videos, short videos on videos, we're putting one up a week.
Yep.
Go over to J&N Travels YouTube channel and take a look at those. And we thank everyone for joining us. We have one more live that's coming up a week from Sunday. And then we head to Florida, Nancy.
We go to Florida.
Right after the holidays, right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you all for joining us. Stay young and have fun.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. I kept, what?